the way, Bumi is a coach. He's one of the coaches of the national under-17 team, the Golden Eagles. Do you hear what I said? He's a national team coach sitting by my side. He's one of the assistant coaches of the national under-17 national team, the Golden Eagles. And they're going to Algeria for the African qualifiers sometime in March. So Bumi also will talk about that because of shit. But now we'll start with a big celebration and congratulations to Bumi. He has recently completed a course on Professional Football Scouts Associations. It's called Professional Football Scouts Association Scouting Course. And this is one course that I know that not many Nigerian coaches or even scouts have opportunity to undertake, and some are able to find yourself going through this course and qualifying. So now, you are qualified as what?
Well, as a scout.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you why I decided to take the course. Since 2017, I've been the Nigerian national under-17 team assistant coach stroke scout. And as an assistant coach stroke scout, you need to go out there and search for quality talent, liaise with, the world of football to get talents for the national team. And when you get this, I really don't know why I was chosen to be a scout.
Sorry, by the way, that's the graphic the picture showing is shows you and then Mr. David Upson, who was a scout, who's a scout with Manchester United.
Yes,
he actually facilitated the participation in this course. So that's the picture shown right there. Bumi and David Upson, Manchester United scout. You are mixing with the oil and mighty in this business.
Well, it's just about chance. Actually, I think about a year or two before I met David. My dad is based in the UK. He's been there for a very long time, like 30 or over years. And he had been working on me, improving my coaching skills. So he told me about the PFSA and said, look, Bumi, you need to take courses in PFSA. And also, he was trying to help me get some players for trials out there in England. So he told me about PFSA. So he registered me on PFSA. And so we were working on getting quality players, just go out there for trials so that they can get, better opportunities. So about a year later, here I met David in Nigeria. David, for the very first time, came to Africa, is scouted for a lot of clubs, Bolton Wanderers, and so on, but spent most of his years with Manchester United during Alex Ferguson and the likes of it. So David Austin, I saw him and, he was introduced to me by some, friends, and they said, look, this is David Austin, this is what he has done. This is what, I'm like, oh, PFSA, the founder of PFSA. Say yes. Oh, wow, this is just chance. So we talked about his programs, we interacted, and he said, look, Bumi, you're the scout of the national team, you need to take a scouting course which will qualify you directly as a scout. He actually funded the first scouting school, professional school, which is called the PFSA, in England. And he's certified by the English FA. We've had great players, great coaches go through this. Even active players, who want to be coaches in future, they go through these courses, including Ryan Giggs, Eddie Howe, and a whole lot of, coaches. So he said he was going to help me, get the first course done. Then subsequently, maybe I will have to pay another likes of it in foreign currency. So that was how I took the first, course, which gave me the qualification I have. I've been a scout, but I don't have the qualification of a scout. So I needed to go get that qualification. Apart from the qualification, it was a huge lesson for me, because I learned basic things, how to identify and a lot of the current ways of, doing things as a scout. If you get an opportunity to learn from these kind of persons, then there's nowhere you cannot stand across the world.
Okay, and I'm sure that the national team, which you are involved with as the national 17 team, and Nigerian football generally will definitely benefit from this your newfound knowledge.
Yes, they are going to benefit. I mean, as far back as maybe 2012, when I decided to take coaching course, I was a journalist back then. And
you are still
yes, sorry, my sincere apologies. I'm a journalist. I just thought, look, how can I get better as a journalist? How can I, do better as a journalist? So I tried to go into coaching, to get to go for the courses so that I can know the rudiments. How do these coaches do their thing? What exactly do? So, and I found out that it's very interesting. So that was how I progressed. I did, I went to NIS, did the CAF B did the CAF C, did the CAF B, had a lot of courses, including La Liga, courses. I've done that for consistently for 4 years, 4 different editions. Then the LMC back then supported me when they had they had Arsenal, come to Nigeria to coach the Premier League coaches. Then I was included in the program because they thought they needed to support me. So I've gone through a lot of courses and went for interview for the national team. I got picked, and so since then I've tried to progress, try to increase my knowledge. Why I'm saying this is this, as at that time when I got the national team job, a lot of people thought you needed a godfather, or in quote now, to get the national team job. For me too, it was just like, oh, I'm qualified based on what have been read out for employment. I'm qualified to put in my application. I just put in my application and went there. I didn't do badly. I was one of the best in that interview, and I got the national team job. So that encouraged a lot of people. Even older coaches who had not gone in for coaching courses before were just practicing as coaches. At least here in Abuja, a lot of them went back to school. And I'm very happy that I engineered that. They saw that, oh, if Bumi in the last few years can do this and he got this kind of job, why not? We can do it. So I'm very happy to have engineered that. And for me, it's not enough for you to say you are this. Are you qualified to be what you are? So having been scout of the national under-17 team for 2 sessions since 2017, up to now, reappointed. So I needed to get something that would qualify me for the position, because when you go out there, I've had interactions with some of the best scouts in the world. I've been to the World Cup. In 2019, I was with after playing Australia. The scout of the Australian team was a 23-year-old boy, and we sat down, we interacted. I think then I was 30 something. We interacted, and he told me about a lot of things that he was using, in his job. So even up to now, I still can't get those things, but at least let me start from somewhere. So if I'm the scout of the national team, am I qualified to be there? So that's the first step. But there's still about 3, 4, 5 courses that I need to take, not just to have the certificate down, so that I could be more grounded in the business.
So now that you started, I'm sure that definitely completed.
Of course, I will not stop.
You're already in the process. Thanks to David Upson, by the way. Okay, now let's come back to the national team, which you're involved in. I know that all these things you are doing is to make you do your job better as a both scout of the under-17 national team, and of course one of the assistant coaches.
Yes.
Now, the Golden Eaglets, they have qualified for the African Championship in a very magnificent way, winning the event in Benin, right?
In Ghana.
In Ghana, sorry.
It's very interesting to win it in Ghana.
Yeah, one of my perennial
we just lost the World Cup at the senior level to Ghana. Yeah. So to beat Ghana right there in Ghana was so interesting.
What's so special about this team?
Wow, what's so special? Let me start with the coach. The coach was the first man to lift the World Cup under Nduka Ogbade. So he's so experienced at this level. That was 85. 85. Yes. Then as FIFA Under-16 Championship, he led Nigeria to the title. So, and since then he had, after his international retirement from football, he became a coach, and he was part of that team that won the Under-17 again in 2013. He's been involved in a lot of things, so he's very grounded, and he's a very, very good coach. I mean, way ahead of time. Yeah,
he's very sound.
Very sound, way ahead of time. When I say way ahead of time, most of the things that we now do, that the Europeans do, he had gone ahead to learn it. He's good. He learned his football in Brazil. So there are some things that we don't take too seriously in Nigerian football that he's so grounded in, set pieces and the likes of it.
Yes. The secret of Emmanuel. What's the name?
Emmanuel. Yes, Michael Emmanuel.
MVP.
Yes.
About
3 free kick goals at the tournament.
Is that the secret behind it?
That's the secret. Special attention to details, especially set pieces and the likes of it. So Nduka is, like the best in that, and he's a very good coach. And when you have someone who has been there, it gives the players confidence. I also worked with Manu Garba. That was in 2018, 2019. And Manu Garba is one of those coaches that have won the Under-17 Championship twice as a coach. In 2007, he was an assistant coach to late Yemi Teller. Then in 2013, he was the head coach. So when these people tell you this is how to do it, this is what we'll do, You are confident, and they tell the, because they've walked this terrain. When they tell the players, this is what you will do, this is what you should do. At this point, this is what we will do. Then the players are confident. They know. When they tell you, when we sit down and we discuss, they are very frank with the players. They tell, we are at 30% of what we should be. They know this is 30% because they've been there. Exactly. So they tell you we are at 60%. Okay. Now we are a bit ready. This is what we need to do. And that was very crucial. And then other coaches that supported, Coach Haruna Ilerika, Coach Dan Koli, these are coaches that are grounded in youth football development. I think that was what molded that team. And then the fire in the boys, everyone, a Nigerian player wants to succeed. So they listen, they take to instructions, but we are always trying to improve them.
I think that's one area where the NFF got it right in terms of selection of coaches for the national team.
Yeah.
In the previous, in the time past, we used to have coaches, seasoned coaches that have coached the Premier League.
As national team.
But not knowing that this is a special.
It's a special category. Yes.
People that are experienced in handling team, youthful players, for them to succeed. I think for once, the NFF has gotten that idea now. That's informed the quality of coaches that we have now, of which we are involved in the 17 national team. Fine, you've conquered West Africa. Now we're going for the African Championship.
Yeah.
We don't have getting the World Cup ticket. That will be in March in Nigeria.
And that will be in April.
In April,
yes, in Nigeria.
Preparations will start soon, I guess.
Preparation should start according to the head coach. He has submitted his program. The Nigeria Football Federation are working towards, getting the team in camp. I'm just saying this based on my own thinking. The under-17, the under-20 team are expected in camp, this weekend. So, and after that, they are expected to go on a foreign trip. That's under-20. My guess is once the under-20 are leaving after a week, then the under-17 should come in. That's just my thinking about that. The program could be different.
You have confidence in this team that we can get the World Cup ticket. Not just World Cup ticket, because Nigeria won the competition 5 times. So qualifying for the World Cup is not a big deal for us. Can this team go all the way like the previous ones that are match champions?
Qualifying for the World Cup is a big deal because we need to qualify first for the future of these boys, for these boys to have a chance to continue to learn. If it's confidence, before we talk about the confidence, let's talk about why the players need to qualify. FIFA is recommending that the under-17, under-20 championship be played yearly now because they found out that the success of national teams depend on the number of players they are able to graduate most of the time through the ranks. Argentina just to the Nigeria Football Federation and the technical department of the Nigeria Football Federation that have been, working side by side with in the last, let's say, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. In 2009, there was this on the 13 under 15 program that was done, and since then, consciously, someone like me and the technical department of the Nigeria Football Federation have been monitoring these players that have gone through the under 13, under 15, and that's why you see a whole lot of them in the national team right now. Yeah. Now you look at the players invited by Coach Jose Pizarro for the last friendly against Portugal. 9 of those players have played for the either under 17, under 20, or under 23. That's even higher than the number Argentina has. You understand? For Nigeria. So for those people who are saying, oh, we are not graduating players, Nigeria is doing it more than before. And that's because there is a technical department that was created by the Nigeria Football Federation around that period. And these people have been monitoring the players. They recommend these players for once there's the national under 20 team, they tell you, these are our players. When they say these are our players, these are the product of our academy. You need to see them first. That's why some people will say, oh, they are imposing players on, the coaches. No, they tell you, these guys have played for the under 13 and we think they are good enough to be graduated now. Give them a chance first. If they won't tell you to, it's a must play, then give them a chance. If they are now good enough, you pick them. You find out that a couple of them are good enough.
So for them to have played a national team at any level.
Exactly. So they graduate them from one play. Wilfred Ndidi played for under 17, under 20, worked his way. Kelechi, Kelechi was under 13, so yes. He was followed right. There was a time, Manu Karaba told me when Kelechi came for the under 20 championship, when he came, then City were trying to sign him. So he had gone to England, probably wasn't training and all the likes of it, came, a little bit rusty. Manu Karaba told me, if they had not known Kelechi, they would, as on an under 17 player, then they would have thought he's not a good player and they would have sent him out of camp because he wasn't fit enough. But because they knew him, they had worked with him, they gave him the chance to get himself back and, all the way to the quarterfinals in that under 20 championship. That's what I'm saying, because these players have been involved with the national team. You look at Nwakali. Okay. He's not been, at some point he had no club. But the Nigeria Football Federation continued encouraging him. You understand? I think he plays in the second division out there in Spain right now. So these are some of the things that have been done. What's his name? Dennis Bonaventure. Okay. He was an under 13 player. I think we were supposed to go to Mexico. I can't remember the year, maybe 2010 or something. He was part of that team, an integral of that team. Behind the scene, while he was trying to grow, he went to Russia, to Belgium. The technical department of the Nigeria Football Federation were involved. He came to Nigeria at some point and they talk, they encourage him. At least I know that. So these are the things that have been done. Go to the goalkeeping department.
Yeah, we have a crisis there. Thank you.
Exactly.
We have a crisis there right now. I call it crisis. Sorry, I may be overreacting, but okay. I feel that we can't really call on any credible goalkeeper now that we can beat our chest and say, fine, where is it go? We have the confidence. Not that they are not good, but the level that we expect, at least the standards set by the Christian Yamas of this world, I don't think we have anyone at that level, right?
Goalkeeping is a very unique department that need some specific features. And once these features are not there, then it's difficult, to build confidence of the team in that goalkeeper. At the youth level, we've produced some goalkeepers, but what I think is the coaches have not given these goalkeepers the confidence that they deserve. And again, in the cases of some few players, I think their agents also have not done well. Now, let me give you another example so that the world will know what the Nigeria Football Federation as well as the technical department are doing behind. There's a particular boy, John Ama. He was our first choice goalkeeper at the under 17 championship WAFU B, which we won in 2018. So good. So good. The NFF board came to watch one of our friendly games when we were going to the Nations Cup, and the boy performed magic. And since then, they've been on the lookout for him. So he couldn't make the AFCON team due to injury. We had goalkeeping issues, at the AFCON. Well, continuously, the NFF, the technical department, have continued to monitor his development. At the point, the academy could not get him a club, or probably, I don't know exactly why he has not been able to play. And even on the Nigerian scene, the local scene, he's not got a club. He's just playing as an academy. Even while he was still playing for the academies, they invited him for the national under 20 team. Because they knew his qualities, he was the first choice. It's open. Everybody tried, and he still became the first choice. On the eve of the championship, that's the one, the previous under 20 that Landa Busso didn't qualify. He got injured. That was why the second goalkeeper came in. Now, after then, he under 23, the technical department still recommended him. You understand? So they follow the development of this. I think he signed for Sunshine Stars now. After we discussed, we had to sit him down at some point that, look, you can't continue to make the national team if you have no club. You need to play on the local scene. We had to talk to some clubs. At some point, the LMC, I had to go to the LMC to say, look, there was a boy you saw so time. The guy is clubless. I'm worried we'll lose this talent. So the LMC talked with some of the clubs that, please, can you talk to some of the Nigerian clubs who will need a good goalkeeper? I can assure you, just give him a chance. The rest is left for him to prove himself. They were working for some clubs, to get. Eventually, I think he's in Sunshine Stars now. So this is what we try to do.
Is he part of the present under
23 team? Yes, is the, I don't know if it's first choice or second choice, but his part is still there right now. So this is what you saw Alan Paso too. Yeah. So it's now left for the coaches, at the senior national level, to know if these guys are good for us, good enough for us. And that's why I keep saying, and I'm saying it is what I believe in. Nobody will love the national team more than Nigerians.
Exactly.
Not the foreigners, the foreign coaches, they want to achieve immediately. They don't know how our football is done and how we play our football. They go for I think a player is in PSV, a player is in come play for Nigeria. But these guys don't know the way we play in Nigeria. You saw the game against Portugal. Yes. The home-based Super Eagles of Nigeria might not lose with that. Even if they are going to lose, they're going to play better. Yeah. There's a way Nigeria plays her football. So that's, for me, my belief is a local coach is better. Support him, get him better, and we'll get things right.
I understand. You're a local coach, though, no doubt. But you're making good sense. Exactly. But now, away from national team, I know you don't have much time on your side. You have a program by 12, so you just stole some time out of that to be
sure.
The Nigerian Professional Football League, I can't end without talking about it, starting this weekend. So it's a scene of joy for us. The league is getting on the way, and it's something that we all have been craving for, that we have a league that starts early because of continental football.
Yeah.
But then, given the issues that
surrounded
whatever the end of the season last year, couldn't even conclude the FA Cup, and the Ethio Cup, and of course so many things, so many uncertainties. Then the IMC took over from the LMC, because finally the league is settled. Yeah. Starting this weekend, and what's your take on it? We all had the draws the other day, and we saw commitment on the part of the IMC, sponsors as well, and of course some of the clubs. Good, they have buried the hatchet as regards their opposition to their bridge league. I think everything is settled, if I'm not mistaken, what we're getting.
Yes.
And so do you think we are good to go? Are we going to see a very good league, or just one of those leagues just to have it for the sake of it?
Whether we are going to get a good league depends on us. We are the ones in the sector. If we want it to be fine, it's basically on us. If we want to have,
but again, we'll report what we see. If the standard is poor, we'll report it.
It's not just about the media. It's about those in the business of football. Don't forget there's various sectors in Nigeria. The economy, the oil, in football. If what we want is development, then we should be ready to invest. And for once, I love the role the media played, in ensuring that the league starts. When there were issues of whether there should be an abridge, or the media said, we don't care whether it's a bridge or whatever. We want the league to start. And I must praise the media. There was no sentiment about whether this is this or the. We want the league to start. And that's what Nigerians want. We are the ones who are in direct contact with Nigerians. Nigerians are asking, what's happening to our league? Let's the league start. And I think it's going to start. And let me say this. For the very first time in a long while, we have the federal government of Nigeria interested in the league. Yeah. Now, we've been clamoring for government to lead the way. If government says so you need to invest in the Nigerian Professional Football League, they are going to do that. Yeah. And government is leading. You can see the sponsors now, they are coming in, courtesy of the government. Yeah, because government decide that go put not net. I don't know if the amount was determined or something, but with my position, I've been able to realize that the government had directed that there should be money invested in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Now, the little politics you see happening right now It's politics involving people that are in the football. A lot of them are looking at the short time. They are looking at selfish, interest, not looking at the big business.
Yeah.
But what I know is this: if the number of people who want, the betterment of the league is more than those who want it to go down, we are going to succeed. We are going to start. We are going to improve it. It might not be the best, but we will continue to improve it.
Get better. So just a quick one: the fixtures for this weekend. So the draws, you can see the draws. That's the visuals you are seeing there. That's the draws we had, I think, sometime last week. For Group A, we'll see Nasarawa United versus Eyimba, and Akwa United Nations designed as the star match of the weekend. The two United Shooting Stars, Akwa United, Gombe United, Remo Stars, Academy. Group B, Baisal United versus Dakada, Bukit Tories versus Niger Tornadoes, Doma United versus Sunshine Stars, Rivers United, Defending Champions versus Lobby Stars, Rangers versus Abia Warriors. That's the fixture for the week, and we are sure that this league will start. 200 million given to each club.
10 million, no,
10
10 million each, 200 million total for all the 20 clubs. Yes.
All the clubs, so 10 million each. A good start. They said a little drop of water makes a
Yes,
so
it's a good start.
Yeah, it's a good start. For
And the winner will take 100 million and so on. I don't know the graduation, but the second we take and other. We just want the game to start. And football is a big business. If the federal government has now classified it as business. Before it was like, recreation, sports was recreation. Now it has now been classified as business. That's what the present Minister of Youth and Sport has done.
Yeah, that's good.
Exactly, which is
thank you for calling it.
exactly.
It's courtesy of him that we actually have this development.
Exactly. For a long time, the federal government has not had interest in football. But he's been able to let them know that this is this. If we do this, this can happen, and which I think is great.
Well, we could talk and talk. I know that when it comes to sports, we are ready to talk all day.
Of course.
So I want to thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
For me, a journalist, a coach, a scout, chairman, an administrator as well, chairman to the Sport Association. So I want to thank you, Bumi, for
thank you very much, sir.
We hope that we will call on you again.
Of course, I'm ready.
Thank you very much. That's Bumi Aruna, and I hope you enjoyed that session with him and you're much more inspired and enlightened about athletes and football. We'll take a short break now, and we'll serve you something else on the program. One of the programs that features a particular sport. We've done the boxing. Now we're going to basketball above the ring. After the short break,